Hey, what's up, everyone? Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Pocket Change Market Report time for the October 9 sesh. We're going to be taking a look at some of these errors and varieties that you folks have found out there in change, and we're going to, kind of analyze the pricing. How much of these coins sold for? Is it worth looking for? And of course, we're going to take a look at a few new heavy hitters that have hit the scene. One in particular, 2024, Dr. Mary Edwards Walker, or Dr. Mary Edwards quarter that was talked about in the live coin Q&A. Huge variety. Probably the biggest one in the last like 2-3 decades. First reported sale. We're going to cover that one and also give you guys a skinny on what to look for on that particular quarter. You surely don't want to miss on that. It is brand spanking new, it is out there in circulation. So a lot of good stuff to be found out there. Of course, we can't forget about probably the chase of the year. Full bankrolls of 2024 Jefferson Nichols as of right now. The Denver Mint type is the undisputed king of low mintage for the last like 4 decades. It's still very much under the 2009 mintage of the same mint coin. So that is obviously another big one there. Full rolls have been selling for between $70 and $90 a pop, and God forbid you find that full bank box that a bank is willing to give you. You know, that's going to be somewhere in the like $3,500 to $5,000 range in just pure cold hard cash right there. It'd be a great opportunity. Of course, the holiday is just around the corner. I'm sure that would help out in a huge way. So, nice little Easter egg hunt on that one, just in time for the holidays. Make sure you are checking it out there at your local banks. All right, so pretty big week on Whatnot I saw on that platform along with eBay, so I like to supplement both. However, we have a pretty big event happening here today and tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, called the American Classics event, coming to you October 10 and 11. Now, the PCMR, obviously I did all the data and stuff as of the 9th, but we were uploading this on the 10th, so that's why I'm saying today. We got a lot of dealers on the platform that's selling some pretty nice offerings in the U.S. type categories. So we're going to see just a feast for the eyeballs of different types of U.S. type coins. I will be participating on Friday, the 11th. So I'll be on at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We are ramping up for the holidays, guys, and so is Whatnot. I personally invite you guys to come down, check out my show or any one of the shows on the platform. If you're not signed up yet, please do so. I have my link down below in the description box. I'll even have it pinned in the comment section of this video as well. If you sign up under me, you get $15 off your first item. All right, that's a pretty good deal. You could save a tremendous amount of money on that piece of silver you've been waiting for. You know, that type coin, that Morgan dollar, peace dollar, things like that. Pay a lot less for your first banger right out of the gate, courtesy of your boy Blue. All right, so we're going to jump into these selections fresh from eBay within the last 24 to 36 hours. And we're going to start it off with this one. And this is going to be more of a testament of, hey guys, check out your 90% scrap silver, because you can find something like this. And it's not the only one. This is a 1940 S over S over S over S. Yeah, I think that's 4 S's. Yeah, correct. This is a pretty big repunch mint mark, one in which is, typically overlooked out there. Especially folks that love hoarding 90% Mercury dimes, which comes at not really a steep price. I know the price of silver is up these days, but if you're going to choose between a full roll of 90% Mercury dimes or a full roll of Roosevelts, we'll all gladly take Mercury dimes. It is the iconic design that we all know and love. And there are a number of dates where you can find repunch mint marks, various doubled dies, things of that nature. This one right here is the FS501 variety. When we look up close, you can see multiple punches of the S mint mark. The most glaring of the four repunches is going to be that one that is northwest of the primary mint mark on this particular example. All right, it's a very strong piece too. Now, typically a coin like this would be worth, somewhere around $2, okay, melt value, give or take. This particular one sold on eBay in a buy it now type listing for $12. All right, so by the time you factor in fees and shipping, there's about $8 of profit here. It probably could have sold for maybe $15, $20. Again, it's a preemptive premier cherry picker's guide variety, and usually those carry a little bit more weight onto the marketplace. So pretty nice one here. Always look at the mint mark of your Mercury dimes. You might be surprised by what you would find. 1950. The first few coins on the list. We're going to showcase some unfortunate photographic type of results. This one here, a highly out of focus reverse picture, but the obverse looks pretty good. So if not for nothing, we have an idea of what the coin looks like in terms of its condition, okay? And that still matters even at die varieties and mint errors. So please do keep that in mind. This particular one is the over mint mark variety, the FS601, another cherry picker's guide banger. This is actually a very nice OMM. This is the S over D mint mark. And while it's even in this condition state, or it's really nothing to write home to mother about, this one has all of the hallmarks of that particular OMM. If you went on to like varietyvista.com and other websites and compared this to one that's in much nicer condition, you're going to see that it's the same deal. Yeah, so there is actually a Denver mint mark underneath that S right there. All right, so this particular one, because it's so highly coveted and a little bit scarce, this one sold for $50. So you can imagine going through again your 90% scrap, bulk, and looking for a couple of these key type pieces. And again, something that you have paid $6, $7, or $8 for will turn out being a $50 bill. And then, you're going to look like a wizard genius at the end of the day because you made this power play to resell it on eBay. So good job to the seller and a nice buy for the buyer. All right, another rather unfortunate photo. The white balance is quite a bit off here. The picture was taken also with a coin in the 2x2 flip. I'm going to tell you guys, take the coin out of the flip. These things are literally a dime for 3 dozen. Okay, the cardboard flips are cheap. You're going to have no problem replacing them. If you're going to be sitting there reusing the same one over and over again, you have some money issues when it comes to budgeting out your supplies. 1982p, another cherry picker's guide variety. This is one that we all know about, though. This one is the no FG reverse type. Frank Gasparo's initials were over polished off of the die, or polished off the die to where it's not even on the coin. So if it's not on the die, it's not going to be on the coin. So poor old Frank, yeah, he's not going to get recognized on this one. But, for someone out there selling it, this is actually going to turn out to be a boon, $24 sale on a coin that most people would overlook as they're doing their roll hunts for the silver pieces that, seem to be quite popular and commonplace out there in the roll hunting community. So there are these. There are a few pretty well known doubled dies. There's some other really cool varieties within the Candy $half series that simply cannot be ignored because of their price point. And here's one that a lot of people would overlook. Great heads up play, by the way, by the finder of this coin, and just really looking up close what this thing has to offer. It's not a perfect looking 2022 Lincoln Shield scent. This thing has quite a bit of carbon spotting. It's circulated a little bit, but upon closer examination right here at Trust, there's a little bit of a strike through here. So there was something on that die struck through onto the coin, leaving this void that you see here. It's not damaged because, these are copper-plated zincs. A score mark or a nick would actually reveal some of the zinc underlying core of this one. And sure enough, this one does not. So very surprising sale. And again, great heads up play by the seller, just even finding it and then having the, testicular fortitude, I guess, of, kind of like naming their price. And they did. Someone bought it, $20.55. That's with shipping out the door and all that great stuff. I mean, that's a pretty good deal on something that is so small and microscopic. But it is also kind of a testament, you know, to what sells out there in the on the secondary market today, and you would be surprised at the collector base that want these type of coins. Another well-known variety type here. This is the 2007 John Adams dollar. Okay, not a particularly fan favorite series. It's a very wide and deep one though. It has all the presidents, from George Washington all the way up to I don't know, whoever. But anyways, this is a very well known one here, and there is one other president, and the name kind of slips my mind as to the same anomaly, and that's the doubled edge lettering on John Adams dollars, and they're all 2007 Philly, by the way, struck coins. You could find these here. It's actually quite common. And, based off of what this one sells for, that seems to be the normal price. This one sold for $19.99. What's cool is you can find some with nice overlapping. You could find the secondary punch of letters, and these were all, by the way, on the collar in the mid presses, because the collar is its own die. All right, so it's either going to be a reeded edge, a plain edge. It might have lettering on it, like this one. Pretty phenomenal event here, and one that's not going to set you back a lot of money. But when you do find it, and you love hunting dollars, there's not a lot of people that actually do that. You find this, you'll do okay on it. $20 seems to be the kind of like roundabout average of what you would expect for this find. Here's one we haven't seen quite a bit. Okay, please do note the wood grain kind of table that this note sells on, because it's going to come up a few times here in this show. There was a seller that ended up blowing away a few pieces onto the market, all paper money. We're going to highlight like 4, 5, 6 of them in this video, because they're all that damn good. Like this 69A $100 bill right here with a gutter fold. I mean, we don't see errors on these, small head hundreds at all. They are quite scarce. So I was kind of taken aback when this one popped up. Good old Ben Franklin still has most of his, portrait intact on this one. Real simple. The subject sheet had a wrinkle in it, and it was printed over, and that's how things like this occur. So it's not only until after the actual print and cut process of it where you could stretch out the note and reveal that beautiful gutter in there. This is a full picture of the reverse. The seller did not put a full picture. It's just like more or less 2/3 of the back of the note. But you can see where the gutter is, which means it printed over just fine. That wrinkle was stretched out when the reverse was done. Man, they're very pretty. I love the $100 bills. If it wasn't for the fact that they are such a high denomination, I would probably collect them a little bit more. But anyways, we have this one here that ended at $202.51 with 3 total bids. Quite exciting. Again, you don't see these older style $100 bills with errors of this type. So this was truly a marvelous add into today's PCMR. We also have this one here, which is quite cool. I talk about these on occasion. This is a 1958 $10 bill with an ink smear on the obverse there, or the front of the note. The note is in really nice shape, and you're probably wondering, what the heck is that red sticker doing there? Well, back in the day, through the quality control process of just examining all the notes, that's what a quality control expert would do, is they'll put a red sticker or a rejection mark. Sometimes they'll even do a red crayon mark on the note. So as it goes through the process, they'll pull these out and destroy them. Very rarely do we see them ever escape the BEP. And the actual examples that are out there with the red rejection sticker still on tacked on the note, they are quite desirable. All right, so this one right here ended up selling for $292 with 8 bids. Ink smears are not rare, and this one is quite small. But you know what really got this one high atop the pricing? It's almost $300. Was that rejection mark? Collectors just love them, and then when they're on there and still vibrant and red and white, that's where it really matters most. Another interesting one here, 1959 Jefferson nickel, and the one thing probably you'll see is kind of like that brownish, coppery color on the obverse right in Jefferson's hair. So the seller, I believe, said that this was maybe a retained kind of like strike through event or something like that. But this was actually before the strike. This was actually on the planchet, even before it was blanked out of the strip. I believe it is, and I could be wrong. I believe this is a metallic inclusion. All right, which in this case it is indeed copper, which was right. It was right on the raw material. During when it was rolled thin to the desired thickness of a nickel. So yeah, I mean it's pretty neat. Most people wouldn't even think twice about what this is, and yeah, they are quite cool when you do come across it. Now, there's gonna be folks like Paula Boom. They might correct me on this one. I'll let you guys know if it's not a metallic inclusion. It'll be. I think I'm correct. I don't know, Paula. Yeah, maybe you'll let me know here on this one. $24 sale. So someone definitely knew what this was and ended up paying a pretty healthy margin on it for it. We also have this one here from the same seller, 1980p Roosevelt dime. This was actually pretty cool, and this is something you don't see on the much smaller U.S. type coin here. Coin is in pretty rough shape. There's no denying that. We can't really hide things like that here. But when we look at the edge, it looks like a little bit of a mouth, as if the coin's talking, saying, I'm a clamshell lamination, and that's what I am. Do not split me apart. Yeah, is that what dimes sound like? I don't know. I tried. But yeah, that's exactly what we have here is a clamshell lamination splitting right on the edge. Do not split it apart. They're worth more as it is, and if you do split it apart, it's considered damage. So this one here sold for $28. I mean, that is pretty good for this beat up little Roosevelt dime. The little engine that could, I guess, did actually do that. So really neat find. Yeah, here's another one from our good old seller here. 35E, $1 silver certificate. Looks pretty normal on the front till we flip it over and find a full, complete 100% front to back wet ink transfer, and it is very dark and vivid, and oh my god, this thing's gorgeous. So that is a leftover impression on the impression cylinder before the next sheet was fed in. All right, so the plates and the impression cylinder made contact without a sheet present, thereby leaving that impression in there. It's kind of like a die clash, on coins, very similar. So this one right here, I don't know, big sale, $264.99 with 5 bids. Seems like everything this guy sells is like gold right now. Everything's sold for like 200 plus, including this one. And I'll be absolutely honest, this is probably better suited for a graded holder. Because most butterfly folds are. So that was a corner that had folded in, and then it was printed as normal. As you can see, that's a really big gutter. That's a really big butterfly on there. You can even see some of the selvage, some of the crop marks and various other things on there. Beautiful note, by the way. It's seeing no circulation. It's got no centerfold, nothing like that. There's a reverse there for you. You can actually see the fold right there. that's diagonal that originally caused this whole soiree. So, yeah, this is more of a butterfly fold and cut. The note was printed normally in its entirety on the front and back. It's just, after all the printing was set and done, maybe it's snagged on something and then that corner just folded in and then cut. And that's why you don't have any absence of print on the note. Which could be either or. $283, 15 bids. I mean, what else can we say? That is a banger of a note. 1920S. Now, I will say, based off of the granularity of the coin, this whole thing was acid dipped. It probably did not have a readable date, but, those dateless buffaloes, there was only one way to restore them, and that's to acid date them. So this is a tough date. 20S is quite tough, and it is also a 2-feather variety, which is a very, very well collected variety. They're all in the Cherry Picker's Guide. This one sold for $10.04 with 5 bids. So even based off price alone, a coin that to untrained eyes looks like VF because it's got a full horn was actually acid dipped to bring out all of those details. So if it looks like this and it's very granular and lifeless, more than often it's going to be acid dip. This is actually a 90% silver Roosevelt dime, struck way off center. It's like 90%. Pretty cool. $70 on this one. And we all know that off center struck coins out of the collar are quite hot in today's market. Coins and cards, excuse me. With a couple more heaters here this week. How about this 1864 repunched 8 2-cent piece? A nice high-end example. I'm going to say probably AU53 by grade. Might even be a little bit higher than that. But, yeah, repunched 8. There are also a couple doubled dies for the date. There's a good old small motto version as well. That's quite expensive, especially in higher grades. But there you go. I've actually cherry-picked a few of these before. They do exist out there if you have, access to a shop or show that's near you. That's usually a good place to find some of these. There you go. Repunched 8. You can see the doubled 6 and the 4 and all that great stuff. Keeping in mind that the date numerals were punched by hand on the working dies. So this one here, $247.50, 26 bids. It's a very nice high-profile coin. Pretty sure it's in the Cherry Picker's Guide, and it's got its own, unique attribution for that. Yeah, I think this is the last one from this seller. I have to talk about it. It was originally pitched as a butterfly, which, it could be, but more appropriately, it's a insanely large gutter fold that only affected the overprint. So you could see, like the top right serial numbers is like, there's some, you could see the gutter. Yeah, that's what I really wanted to say. But you can see the displacement from one to the other. And then when you fold that back in like an accordion, the note itself retains its shape. So again, this is a pretty phenomenal find. It's got that beloved red rejection sticker right on there. Surprisingly, this note has it's been passed around like a peace pipe. It is not a high-end piece, which is quite a shocker. And another shocking thing is, good as all these images were, the seller did not add a reverse image to this listing. But I think this particular picture tells the tale here. Yeah, one of the big ones here in the last day, $457 with 10 bids. Good deal. This one deserves to be in a graded holder, regardless of what it's going to come back as. I mean, it's that amazing. Coins and cards with another one here. This one I've actually found a few times. 1857 Flying Eagle with the large die break right on the wing. It's also actually a snow variety as well. It's like S3 or something like that. I forgot for the life of me what it is. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good one. It's one of the lower selling variety types of the date. I know the multi-denominational clashes are the big ones for the date. So even still, this one, $82 with 36 bids. I would say is just a pleasing above average type coin, with a snow variety. It's really cool. I like this one. No, I lied. Here's one more. 53 $5 silver certificate. It looks completely normal on the front. And then again, we gotta flip this bad boy over. Yeah, it's not a fold over. This is what they call an obstruction print. So there was like a piece of paper that was on the subject sheet. It could have been a scrap or what have you, and it was printed over, thereby leaving off some of the design on there. So this one here sold for $294, 17 bids. Again, very impressive. Yeah, I mean, again, rather unfortunate image. It looks to be a 1968S, I believe, is what it looks like. Struck through a die cap with a little bit of a brockage on there. That's pretty cool. No, the reverse is not double to die. It's just really well out of focus. So there's a few things going on here. I mean, the error speaks for itself. Photographically, we definitely do need a little bit more natural light. Let the camera do the work for you, and make sure you have a clean lens. Some people usually don't wipe the lens, and then they end up with results of photos looking like this. $103.96. So obviously it didn't, hurt it too badly here. But because there is presence of brockage on there, that kind of like does a pretty good, thing for the price of the coin. Here we are. Much talked about Dr. Mary Edwards Walker. I knew there was a Walker at the end of the name. 2024P. This is the newest quarter out right now. And you guys need to look for it. This is the biggest double die, I would say, bar none, since the 2004 Washington, D.C. DDR. This one will end up in a cherry picker's guide in the future. I have that feeling it will. It's that nice. This is a big chase to go along with your 2024 nickels. So look out for this. Here are the close-ups to be on the lookout for. Keep in mind all of the arrows that you see. That star has incredibly insane doubling. The hair on Mary Edwards Walker, I mean, you can see on this one just everything. This thing is nuts. And who would have thought that would be on this one, right? And of course, it took some eagle eyes to find it. And someone had said, "Well, why do people spend so much money on BU rolls of new coins as they come out?" It's for reasons like this. Yeah, you silly gooses. But yeah, you guys are probably wondering where this one landed. It actually did really well, but I feel like the ceiling could be a lot higher. $79.36. I believe it was a buy now hit. It was probably, I believe, $75 is what it was at as a bin. But boy, man, this thing is sweet, dude. It even has its own attribution too. It's VDDR number 1, which is a Dr. Wiles attribution on his website, varietyvista.com. So, yeah, this one's on there. It is a true blue, legit attributed variety, and it's game on, guys. Let's look for these. A couple really notable clips. 1999P. Connecticut State Quarter. This thing is a massive clip with the Blakesley effect showing very well here. $28 on this one. Pretty good sale. And then this boy right here sold moments after that. Could it be from the same buyer? I don't know. Bicentennial Quarter. I'm telling you, Bicentennial Quarter errors, you gotta watch out. These things are stupid right now. In a good way. Stupid, pricey, you can make some money here. Large clip, Blakesley effect, right over RTY and Liberty there, pretty easy to see. It's Denver too, which is cool. I think the only thing missing is the FS 101 DDO. That would have been even more, I guess, icing on an already sweet cake. $94.78. Hey, that's a great sale, man. Clips don't usually sell for that kind of money. I just want to let you guys know that. They're usually like a $10, $20 coin on any other given day. 1936 Lincoln Wheat Cent. I haven't seen or talked about this one in a minute. This is the FS 101 DDO. The date, it's got the double tail of the 9, it's got a doubled 6, which are the two strongest aspects of the date. The doubling on the motto cannot be understated. This thing is awesome. And the coin is not perfect. It's a very well loved VF, like VF 25 coin here. $126.25 with 23 bits. So, the price just seems to keep shooting up for these if they're problem free. 1942 S Lincoln Wheat Cent. This is one I've known about for a while. If you look on the reverse of the coin, right on that right wheat stalk, you can see a pretty sizable die crack that goes from one part of the rim to the other part, and it snakes through the wheat stalk, showing the displacement there. So that's some shift of the design because of that die break. That will end up being a cud one day. One day it will be a massive cud. But for a pre-cud, these things are still valuable. $17.49 with 4 bids. Here's another struck through die cap. Only this time the die cap was cracking, I believe. I believe the die might have been split too, because that's a pretty heavy die crack. We usually see these on like Roosevelt dimes. I've seen a few of them on Lincoln cents. And I've seen a couple Jefferson nickels. It's been a while though. So we have this one here. It looks to be like a 1983 Philly. Could be a Denver as well. Very well worn. Nobody knew what the heck this thing was until it was too late. Someone found it and sold it for $31. How cute. 6 bids on there. It's like a magic trick, turning 5 cents into $31. The most random number in the world. But hey, it's still a lot more than face. And the last coin of the day, coin 25, is a very well worn, man. This thing just came out of circulation. It's like, yeah, you can't miss this thing for the world. 1972, FS 101, doubled die obverse. This is the big one for the date. Aside from the FS 104, which, some would say is even bigger, but not impressive at all based off of the spread. But boy, check this thing out. $330.22 with 35 bits represents the floor on a well-worn example of this variety. There you go. They're out there. Find them in your bankrolls today. And that's it, ladies and gents. Information provided in this video is for entertainment only, not financial advice. Please collect and/or grade your coins responsibly. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge. Glad to have this one out and about. We're going to have another one Saturday morning, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for all your views and support. Come check me out on Whatnot. American Classics today and tomorrow. It's going to be big. All right, you guys take care. Have a good one.